Shepherd Bushiri and his wife will be applying for bail in the magistrates' court in Lilongwe. They handed themselves over to the Malawian authorities earlier today. They fled South Africa, of course, where they're charged with fraud and corruption as well as money laundering. Our reporter Sekho Ajamahi is following the story for us. She joins us live. So Sekho, let's start with what could be the next step from the state.
Well, Shahan, good afternoon. It really is quite a complicated situation now that the Bushiris find themselves in. And we understand that the next step will be that the state needs to formally send a letter through to the Malawian authorities saying that they would like to actually extradite the Bushiri couple back to South Africa. And of course, this has got to do with their fraud, theft and money laundering case. A second warrant of arrest was issued today by South African authorities, and we understand that the couple are currently in court and they are applying for bail. But let's just take a listen to what Ulrich Roux, a defense attorney, had to say to us.
Well, given that the Bushiris have now handed themselves over to the Malawian police, they are in custody in Malawi and they will now have an opportunity to apply for bail in Malawi pending their application to be to South Africa. So the South African government will now have to bring an application to the Malawian government, which says that they must be extradited formally and through the formal legal channels from Malawi to South Africa in order for them to face the charges in South Africa that have been brought against them. So it is a diplomatic process that now needs to take place. It's not simply a case of our police or the prosecution in South Africa now being able to go and fetch them there. They must actually be extradited by the Malawian government to South Africa in order to come stand trial here.
Of course, they are applying for bail in Malawi, but they're also supposed to appear in a South African court tomorrow.
Absolutely. They are supposed to be in court tomorrow, according to Magistrate Thanditeledi, who granted them their bail of 200,000 rand each. She said that during their bail, with their bail conditions, that besides them not being allowed to actually leave the country, which now they have done, they have to be in court while accused number one, Vila Mutolo, appears and continues with his bail application. But interestingly enough as well, Shahan, just to mention that I have been in contact with some sources in Malawi, and they have told me that according to the Malawian constitution, a person with a diplomatic passport can actually not be extradited unless they have committed treason or murder. So it could take quite a while for them to actually come back. And because we do know that Shepherd Bushiri has got that diplomatic passport, it could take even longer, or it might not happen at all because now of what the Malawian constitution says. But expecting them to be in court, and the Hawk saying that if they do not appear in court tomorrow, then there is a possibility, or they definitely will seize their home, the one in Centurion, worth 5.5 million rand.
All right, we can leave it right there. Sekho Ajamahi.